I play League of Legends, and as many other problems as I have with the game, I'd like to focus today on the updates. Now, when I first started playing, things didn't look great. A lot of the newer content was, better than it started. Like looking at some of the old models, like the old ones, yikes. Granted, some of those still exist and remain uh, either completely or mostly unchanged. Now, over the years, I've seen lots of updating. 2014, they did an overhaul in the lore, and it's only gotten better and better. I think it was 2015 they updated the map. They've been continuously making champion updates to make every character look halfway decent in, the current game. Even so, League of Legends still has a problem with actually updating its champions. There was one year where they did just a ton of updates, and I liked it. It was great. Hey, look at these old, janky looking ones. Here's some updates. Here they look better. They play different. It's good. But then after that year, Riot decided, hey, we're gonna take a step back from this and do maybe one, maybe two a year at most. To which I was like, what? I mean, as far as updating the game, there's still a lot of work to be done. Yet they're like, no, we're gonna take a step back from actually making our game look its best. And we're going to put more focus into making new content, which we can make money from. Oh, those champions with like no player base? Psh, screw them. Who cares? There's not enough people playing them anyway. No, we'd rather make TV shows and side games and settle lawsuits. And the initial reason they gave for stopping all the updates, I'm not satisfied with. A lot of it came down to, as they describe, player frustration. And some of the reasoning was, oh, we've changed people's mains and that makes them upset. And let's be honest, that's the least of their concerns. I think the biggest issue when it comes to updates is twofold. Number one, Riot frequently doesn't know how to balance, or it's almost like they intentionally balance things poorly. Around the time they updated the map, they started doing like huge class updates for champions. And while some things stuck, they had to revert a lot of stuff. With the Juggernaut update, I know they reworked Mordekaiser after that, but Garen at the time, they made some changes to him, and then I'm pretty sure they reverted most, if not all of those. With the ADC update, Kog'Maw got a few changes, and he got completely reverted because they were like, "Wow, no, that was pretty bad." Okay, we're just gonna go back to the way it was because that was fine before. And then the Assassin update. Oh, good God, over half of the Assassin changes got put back to the way they were because most of them were not good. And then for 2 years they were doing just visual and gameplay updates, just a ton of them. There were I don't know, 8 or something. It was a lot. Among those updates were Aurelia and Akali. And in case you weren't playing League of Legends around that time, their kits were completely overloaded.
If we're being completely honest, we don't think our champions have overloaded kits overall.
Okay, well you're wrong there. And I think the backlash from those overloaded kits and just the rework failures, I guess, kind of scared them away. Anyway, that's reason number one. Reason number two, I think they're really hesitant to do reworks, is it's a lot of work. Not only do they have to completely reinvent the champion a lot of times, they got to change the model, they got to change the animations, sometimes they got to make ability changes, sometimes they got to make a lot of ability changes. And of course, what comes with all of that is redoing all of their skins as well. But having it be a lot of work like that is also not a great excuse because they keep adding skins. I mean, okay, yeah, there's a few champions where they just don't get skins anymore because nobody plays them. But also sometimes it's okay, we're going to add another skin to this really outdated champion. Okay, why are you making it harder on yourselves? It just feels like there's a lot of incompetency when it comes to deciding who, what, and when gets reworked. And he'd rather push out 8 new champions for every one rework, and each of those 8 new champions has some new complicated gameplay feature that is a nightmare to balance. I'd rather do that than just, fix what's there. Which of course brings me to the latest VGU poll. This is kind of what made me upset enough to want to rant about this. Of the potential VGUs, they decided on Shyvana, Nocturne, Skarner, Tryndamere, or Kog'Maw. I absolutely hate this list of champions right here. Honestly, of all the ones on this list, I would say Skarner probably needs it the most. Even with the Juggernaut update some years ago, he just doesn't get as much playtime as like anyone else on this list. And I used to enjoy playing Skarner for a little while, but honestly, like a lot of times he just doesn't feel good to play, which really upsets me because I like Skarner. As for the other ones, most of them I would say play fine right now. Gameplay wise, they're okay. They're not in dire need of changes. Yes, it'd be nice for their thematics to be better. It'd be nice for their abilities to be updated. Blah blah blah. But they're fine right now. Like they're not too hurting for big changes. Except for Skarner. And then the odd man out on this is, I would say, Kog'Maw. The problem I have with Kog'Maw being on this list is what they're hoping to change. Kog'Maw has this identity in League as a game. He's an ADC, but also he is an artillery mage, sort of. He's not quite as good at that, but, that's one of his things. Like, you go into ARAM and you're probably going to go artillery mage, because why wouldn't you? I guess I don't always do that, but whatever, it kind of depends. But having that kind of hybrid damage is like half of his identity. And they're like, oh, well, we could get rid of that if we needed to. Like, please don't. And then the thematics that they want to go with, it makes me a bit nervous. I mean, yes, he's not a very voidy champion, but you also can't get rid of the void puppy. I mean, come on, you can't make him not cute. Like, you take a look at half of his skins, they're cute. Like don't make him not cute. I don't know. It's not that I don't think they could do it. It just makes me nervous. And also, last time they tried to change him, like I said, they reverted all of it. So, makes me extra nervous that they'd actually be able to do it well. And yes, I know that was some years ago, but still. So yeah, on this list, Skarner's the only one I could see really needing the changes, really needing the update. But honestly, there's several other champions I feel like need it more. Here's all of them. Some champions haven't even gotten like any model changes since they were released on the beta, which is wow. And then there's some champions that still need ASUs and like, yeah, again, even if you don't change any gameplay of some of them just need updates, just visually. I mean, Ashe is still in a skimpy elf outfit. Like, some champions just look blocky, and it's the 2020s. It really shouldn't. League's been out for over 10 years. None of these characters should look blocky. And then there's some poster children that just, like, it's the poster children of League, and they still look not great. I understand they're iconic, and it's hard to rework more iconic characters, but, like, come on. It feels like more effort's being put into the side content and like Wild Rift, the mobile game. Like, just like can we get just updated characters instead of getting new stuff and adding on to the list of things you'd have to do just to change each one. Anyway, I felt like I just needed to rant about that a little bit because, despite like I'll laugh along with people like, oh, League of Legends is a bad game. Like, I'll laugh along without like anybody because League of Legends isn't always most fun to play. But I do still want to see it, be better. Because sometimes I do enjoy playing it. Sometimes it's not an awful experience. So yeah, anyway, thanks for listening. Have a nice day.